I'm curious as a former running back, when you're seeing the volume of 8-man boxes that David has seen this season, what are some of the mental and physical challenges of kind of those stacked boxes?
When you're running the football as a back, the biggest thing is we talk about is always our alignment, our details, landmark, tracks. The attention to detail has to be up even more. For somebody like Demo, guys like him, he has to be an eraser. And so it's no excuses, because when you do get stacked boxes, your ability to break a tackle, your ability to make big runs is just one tackle away. And so the detail has to be there. And so during the week, I'm always on them about every little detail about their landmarks, their tracks, understanding what the offensive linemen are doing, why we're calling the plays we're calling to get them in the right positions. But at the end of the day, they still got to make the play. You one-on-one in the hole, to be a dude in this NFL, to be a guy like Demo and Ja, how they are in the backfield, you have to be a guy to make those guys miss or break tackles. And so for them, there's no excuses. They just got to be better. I got to do a better job with them, but you look forward to that. That's a lot of respect they have to do that, to stop the running game, and they understand that. And so with much is required, we got to continue to work hard. We got to continue to do the little things.
Just running on the treadmill.
Absolutely. I get working. I have to get me a mile a day. It's my little thing. I hate to do it, so I have to do it every day. It's just a way to make myself disciplined, understand that pain is good on the other side of it.
What's your mile time right now?
Oh man, if I really run, I can do a 7 minute. Right now, I'm not. I'm not super fast at it, but I hate running long distances. But I have to make myself do it because we sprinters, backs, we like to go stop and start. You know what I'm saying? So now I have to make myself do that. It's just to make myself mad before practice. So if they do something that pisses me off even more, so I try to do it.
The 8-man boxes. We talked to John Morton yesterday, and he said, one of the things that can maybe help counter that a little bit too is just how good the wide receivers block in the run game. When you see those 8-man boxes, like Justin talked about, how much does the wide receivers and their ability to block in there to play a factor in those 8-man boxes?
Like the players are everything. And when you have selfless guys like Saint, when you like Waymo, when Leaf, like the job that those guys, Tesla, the job that they do on the outside is unbelievable. For me to come up to the NFL to see your players, your receivers block down the football field is really mind-blowing to me, because they care so much about it. As much as they want the football, we'll sit on the sideline and say, like, man, let's run the football. Do you know how big that is to hear that from a receiver of his stature? It's mind-blowing to me. Like, you guys just don't understand. Like, I played with Megatron. I know how much he cared about the details of everything and blocking. But when you're around a whole group of guys, Scotty do an excellent job. It starts from Coach Campbell, Scotty, the whole, Johnny Moe, everybody preach about making sure that we make each play work. And, the players are everything. And just to hear them, just to hear how much they care about the details. Hank, Steve-O, T-Row, they do an excellent job of scheming on what do we have to do? How do we block guys? And ultimately, when it's a dude open in the open field, that's our job as running backs. When we do have a guy open, we got to make him miss, and we got to make him right if something is not right. But they do an excellent job, man, and it's a staple of this team. Like, I'm just proud to be here, to be a part of a group that really cares about each other, and there's no man that wants the particular glory. They just ready to do the process and the hard work. It's a little different. It's a great group of players, man. It's really special to me.
What has Jacob Saylor's done to catch on here?
Jacob is one of them guys that everybody will root for. Last week going back to Cincinnati, the team that he started in the NFL, I saw a look in his eye, because as a player, when you get let go from a team, it's sort of, you have a little chip on your shoulder. It's sort of like a revenge factor. You want to get back and make them pay to show what you really can do. But for him to be such a good football player, to come in, to start later than everybody, he knew every single protection. If it's tracks, he tried to detail it. If it's special teams, he worked his butt off to do better. And so when you have a guy like that, you get respect from your other teammates because you're doing the right things. And so for me to watch him continue to work every single week, if it's a play, he was in there. If he was down, he'd come back in the next play. And so being coachable and understanding, man, like, it's one of them kids that you really root for, and he can actually run the football. He's getting better and better each week. And that's the whole deal about being a football player, is just ultimately your progress. Can you get this much better each week? And he's continuing to do that. And so the biggest thing he'd earned the respect of the guys in that room, because coming into the running back room, they look at every single thing. And so we cheer each other on, him and Craig, how they've been doing on special teams. Like, that's big for us on the side. When they make a tackle, when they make a block, they make a run, we all cheer them on because we understand how much that means to the whole football team.
T, when I talked to Sione in training camp, he was already dealing with some frustration with his situation. Obviously, a couple more instances where it's keeping him down. Like, what is your role as a coach in kind of just keeping him up as he, fights through this?
Vaki is one of those guys where he is very much a person who is the meek of the earth. Like, when you see him, you want to talk to him. He works his tail off. He's a great teammate. And when you have injuries, every player, they work so hard just to get a chance to play 16. And when you don't get that opportunity, it'll make you down, especially when you're a competitor and you want to play with your teammates. And so for me, it's different. Now it goes from not player to coach. It's more person to person. And so I have to make sure first to check on him and see how he is in day to day, because you have good days, you're going to have some bad days. But to see him work, like when I'm on the sideline, I see him work, and hey, Demo, look at Vaki over there working. Because for us, we know that he wants to be out there. And having injuries, you can't do anything about that. But how you respond is everything. And so he comes to me. He understands I'm asking him questions. I'm on his head constantly. Because it's never a time that you got to coach him when you get an opportunity when he's in the meeting room. But the biggest thing is to make sure he's okay. So when he comes back on the football field, I know how he's going to play. And we're excited for him when he gets his chance to get back. But, that's just part of the game. The glory of playing the game of football, a lot of times you spend in the pain of not being able to. And so to build him up, to let him know that it's okay, but you got to continue to strive to get back on the field. He's done a great job at that.
It's to have two running backs that can go in the game, have a little bit different skill set, but the offense doesn't change at all. They both can catch the football. How hard is that on a defense when you can keep those guys fresh, but the offense doesn't change? They can still both do it all.
They feed off each other. Their relationship is pretty cool. I had an opportunity to be in some really good rooms where you had guys that have different skill sets and we play together, but watching Demo and Ja and how they work, it's like when one of them does well, the other one wants to outdo them. And it's not a nature, I want to be better than you. It's just a competitive nature that they have. They have the wants. My high school coach used to say, I don't care. I just need 11 players that got the wants, that just want the ball, that want to be the guy in those situations, and having two of them. And then the ability for them to play together and to feed off each other is awesome. And they got to continue to get better, because what they've done so far, it ain't good enough. Like, we need to do better. And so for me, even they get all the praise, and I try to make sure they understand you always deflect, but how much they think they have done, they can do even better. And so when we watch film, they probably hate watching film with me. They know after Demo scored the touchdown, he had bad ball security. The first thing he said was, Coach, don't give me a minus on my ball security. You damn right I am. It's just part of the game. We got to protect the football. So for me, I'm okay at being that guy. I have to be that guy. When you have guys who are really good football players that want to be great because they want to be coached to be great. Great players want to be coached at all times, even when they do well. And so you have to watch myself, because I don't want to be negative Nancy, but I have to be. I try to find stuff to critique them and to get on their nerves about. And so Demo the other day, it was really funny. I said, Demo, man, you're getting better on your wide zone track. What is it? I said, was it the drills we did? He said, no, coach, it's really, I hear you nagging me in my ear. So for me, I'm like, dang, but in the end, I'm like, oh, that's a good job, because those little things are what matters in the game when it's crunch time. So I'm actually proud of that part.
Really come off the field saying that?
Oh, absolutely. When you talk to him, because he understands that's what I look for. I look for ball security. We got to keep this football high and tight, chin it. We got to chin the football, 4 points of pressure. Those things are important. Protecting the quarterback, but most important for the whole team is protecting the football. We hold everybody in this organization hands when we got that ball in our hands, and so he understands that responsibility. And when you got guys that do, that means everything to me. And it means everything to the defense. It means everything to people who work here. It's all in all. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in that, and I think those guys do too as well.
Can you speak to what David's done from a pass blocking standpoint?
Animal. Animal. Animal.
Yeah.
I love how they run, but when they put their face on somebody, that's everything, because protecting the quarterback. I got laws of the jungle. First one is protecting the football. The second is protecting the quarterback. JG is everything to him. How you show respect for as a running back, because you get so much praise of running the football. When you block, when you put your face on people, and you do it over and over again, it gets me riled up. I may get more excited at that as they scoring a touchdown, because that's the selflessness. When you talk about receivers blocking down the football field, that's how it goes. When you do stuff away from the football to make big plays, that's what football is all about, especially when guys are really good, who are detailed and really good at their position. You want them to get better at other aspects of the game to help the team. And so how he blocks, his attention to detail, when he doesn't do it right, like I'm on him about those things. And so him and Ja both, I can show you clips of Ja putting his face mask on people. Like that makes me really, really excited. But then I still tell them they sorry as hell at the end of the day.
What else are laws of the jungle? What else is on that list?
So the first thing, protect the football, protect the quarterback. Run with physicality. Run with second and third efforts. Catch the football, run defined routes, and score touchdowns. I came up with that when I first started getting into coaching, because I looked at the running back position on how can you positively affect the football game and be a good teammate. And score touchdowns is last. So the thing that most running backs care about scoring, I put that last. The thing we're going to do is going to make sure we protect the football and protect that quarterback. And we're going to run physical. And we're going to break tackles. And so those are the things that I try to make sure the guys understand. That's what we want to represent. When you look at the running backs, that's what we want to see. That's what I want teams to see. You know what I mean? So, like, that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to imprint on those guys, and they've been really receptive and really coachable. And I'm telling you, the group I work with on this offensive staff, these players on this team, man, I'm really thankful to be here.
And there's so much attention.
Last one for Will.
So much attention being paid to those two young offensive linemen up front, Tate and Christian. Just from a running back's perspective, what have you seen from those two guys this season?
Getting better every single day. You know, Hank does an excellent job. Those guys work. If it wasn't something that they was proud about in practice, because every rep we watched. Everything they do in practice, we watch. We come out the first game, it was not what we wanted it to be. And those guys worked, and nobody lost faith in them. And that's the biggest thing. When you coach a player and they don't have a good game, or they don't do things that you want them to do, you got to coach them to it. And we always blame ourselves. I never point the finger at one of the players. We always say, we got to do a better job. And when those guys hear that, and when coaches are very detailed and go over things over and over again, the players see it. And so now they build their confidence, and now those guys are, you know what I mean, playing really well. But it's just part of the process for them. And to continue to get reps, to continue to mature, and to get better, man, it's just part of the game. And so we fall in love with those guys. Doing a heck of a job, the whole offensive unit.